It clearly shows you that I don't think he has the confidence. I mean, he has confidence in the player, but do you think he has enough confidence in that this is the guy that's going to help him win a Super Bowl?
I mean, again, there's one Patrick Mahomes and there's one Tom Brady. And,
yeah, but Patrick don't win it every year, though.
I understand, but your expectation is that you're going to go in the draft and grab the next Patrick Mahomes quick and pretty, and everything's going to be fine.
No, my if I'm a 49ers fan, my expectations would have been like, do whatever we got to do to coax Brady out of retirement to at least come and play for 1 year with all his talent and help us win another.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think Tom Brady would have come out of retirement to play for the Niners. So I think Tom Brady's done.
Well, I agree, but let's play in fantasy land. Let's say they have Brock Purdy, for the starting quarterback all year, and Brady's just ready for the playoffs because he's 46. So he's too old to get the wear and tear, but he just trains all year to get ready for the 3 playoff games.
That's it.
Yeah. But what he said is true. Until you get Mahomes, you need everything else to be perfect. And they weren't. Far from it. And that's why. I mean, the Niners are a dramatically more talented team.
They were 1 point after missed away from winning that game. I mean,
right, they're catching a punt away. But if you make a mistake and you leave the door open, Mahomes will win it. I mean, that was what was the first play after the muff kick, right? Was the touchdown pass to Scanley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you give them an inch, he'll take it.
Yeah, and to be fair, like that wasn't a muffed kick. It hit off the foot of his teammate, and he had to try and scramble to get it.
Right, I wasn't blaming. I'm just meant like whatever.
Yeah. No, I know.
A fumble on the punt return.
But Mahomes also gave you the ball at midfield with the horrendous interception.
Awful throw. Worst throw of the day.
And you did nothing with it.
That was the difference in the game.
Yep.
If you score any points on that drive, you win the football game.
And you had 3rd and 5. You had 3rd and 5 with a chance to basically ice the game away and kick the game-winning field goal before it even went into overtime.
Yeah, but that's not on Brock Purdy. That's on Kyle Shanahan, who went away from what got them there, which was running the football.
Well, didn't Patrick Mahomes have a very similar one where they blitzed off the edge and he threw it to McKinney out of the backfield because he saw the blitz coming?
Again,
don't you got to see that as a quarterback?
Nobody has ever said that Brock Purdy is Patrick Mahomes.
No, I'm not saying that.
So nobody has said that. That being said, the Niners clearly had the better roster heading into that football game.
Bingo.
They came very close to beating them. I put that on Kyle Shanahan. You've been talking all morning about how he's an idiot.
I put it a lot on him.
He's an idiot. He should have deferred the ball in overtime.
Yeah, I definitely put
all of those things are on the coach, not on Brock Purdy.
Craig, I agree with you. It is on the coach, but when you look at these games, and we've talked about it before, your quarterback has to be able to make plays. And they got to make plays.
He was able to make plays. He was making plays all game.
He other than the first or the second drive of the game when they went on that long drive and I believe McCaffrey fumbled.
Yes.
There was a point in time where they went ice cold on offense. They even I believe it was Romo talked about it on the broadcast. What, it was 2 hours before they had one first down?
Yep.
2 hours before they had one first down. So there was a point in time, and your defense played unbelievable and did exactly what they needed to do to Patrick Mahomes, and you weren't able to take advantage of that from an offensive perspective.
But it wasn't just on.
I didn't say it was just on.
But then look at the George Kittles of the world.
Right, but when you look,
it wasn't just
Courtney,
Brock Purdy.
When you look at the games and you look at wins and losses, we then put it on the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You look at the plays that these guys made on Kansas City, but who gets the credit?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, so if Brock Purdy would have made plays and they would have won the game, would we be sitting here go, great job by Brandon Ayuk, great job by Jennings, or would we give Brock Purdy the flowers of, look what he was able to do for his team?
Christian McCaffrey probably would have been the MVP.
No, I'm saying if they were throwing the football.
Yeah, so...
In the passing game, if they were making plays.
Yeah, they were trying to. And Brock Purdy made a couple good throws that were just unable to be caught.
He made a bunch of bad throws.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He absolutely did not. Go back and watch that game.
He overthrew Deebo Samuels. right?
In the end zone, with Chris Jones hitting him.
Then the interception. Then
Josh Allen made the exact same play.
No, we're talking about Brock Purdy. Then the intercept that almost turned into an interception was a low throw. It was
hit him in the hands,
but it was a low throw.
Hit him in the hands.
Then there was another pass that who was the other pass he missed on? I'm drawing a blank on it now, but there were passes out there that he missed on.
I would say missed passes. Mahomes had more than Brock Purdy during that game.
Who won? But which quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes. But we're not talking about who won. You're talking about missed passes.
We're talking about who won.
You're talking about missed passes.
You're putting this all
I'm
on
not,
Brock.
You
you're
keep
talking about
saying
how bad
all on
Brock Purdy is.
I've never said all on Brock.
Well, you're saying that they should get rid of him.
You're missing the point.
No, your lead this morning was that the only way the Niners can win a Super Bowl is to go get Tom Brady.
Bingo.
That's ridiculous.
Well, if Shanahan's saying, "Oh, I got to face Patrick Mahomes,"
yeah, I know. Everybody in the NFL is going to have to face Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs for the next 3, 4, 5 years. They're going to have to figure a way to beat them.
Exactly, and usually it's the play of your quarterback.
Okay. In the second half, the stats that tell the story to me are third down. The 49ers only converted 1 third down in the second half.
Yeah, they were 1 of 5 or 1 of 6.
1 of 6.
Right.
The Chiefs were 4 of 9. That's the difference. And it's third down where you know they're going to be bringing pressure. By the way, one name we haven't mentioned, and I think he could be a Hall of Fame coordinator, is Spagnuolo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how is he not a head coach? So I know he had a bad stint early in his career, like with the Rams, I think it was, right?
The Dolphins, I believe.
Yeah, so he had one bad stint, but like he has been nails as a coordinator for years. How does he not have any interviews?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is, this is what? So he won 1 with the Giants, and this is his 3rd Super Bowl overall, or 4th?
I believe he's won 4 now as a coordinator, they said in the broadcast
that
last
is
night.
incredible. And that's the difference. The other thing is Brock Purdy's second half, 9 of 17 for 82 yards. Just not going to cut it.
This is Russ from Connecticut. Hello, Russ.
Good morning. How's everybody?
What's up, Russ?
I wanted to talk to Wiggy a little bit. 2 things.
Russ.
I wonder.
Russ. How
Yes.
about during the halftime show some of the spandex on those dancers? Huh?
Oh, yeah. You know what, Greg? I didn't even watch it. I had other things to do.
Okay.
Warm my chicken wings. The spandex later for that. Anyway, Wiggy.
Yo.
Hey, you think that extra point would have made a difference at the end of regulation?
Yep, it would have.
Well, no, you know what happened? I think that then when the Kansas City went down and kicked the field goal, they would have had to try to score a touchdown.
Yep, and they probably would have.
So
that's right. Then the other thing is, in overtime, Purdy puts the ball down at the 8. I believe it was the 8-yard line. Okay, you had third and 4 for first down, and Shanahan screwed it up. He threw a pass. He wanted to pass. And you got McCaffrey there. You think he could get 4 yards and 2 downs?
It was 3rd and 5, but yes, I think he could have. Agreed.
But he would have had to been going for it on 4th down. I think he got scared in that point and said, "All right."
He was going to kick it if he didn't get the 3rd down every time.
Yeah, so I don't think he was looking at it as a 2-down situation. And we sit here and we talk about Mac Jones and his struggle as a quarterback, and he had a good first rookie season. And then we go, okay, is this guy the guy that's going to be able to get this team back to the promised land? And I'm asking from a 49ers fan, I would be asking the same question. Everybody loves the story about Mr. Irrelevant. That's all fine and dandy. Listen, I love to see guys undrafted make a name for themselves. And do I think Brock Purdy is going to get paid and make good money for himself in the league? Yes. But if you're sitting there as a fan and you look at this team that you have, this talent that you have on paper, because we've sat there and we've done it with other teams before. Oh, imagine if that team had this quarterback. And for you guys to sit here and say, if they had Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, some of the top quarterbacks that we look at and go, if San Fran had those quarterbacks, man, this is I
don't think it would be any different.
It would be just like what Tampa Bay was able to do to Kansas City. Once you get pressure on Mahomes and you rattle him, you've seen it all year long. If your offense can now go out there and make plays and score touchdowns, you're going to beat them.
We've seen Josh Allen during this past season where he's once things have gone not his way, he's unraveled. That's something we did not see from Brock Purdy. He did not waver at all throughout that game yesterday.
You went 1 for 6
and that,
on third down, and he was what was the numbers on that?
That's not
Curtis?
entirely his fault, though.
But his numbers on his first half numbers versus second half numbers.
But I'm talking about.
But.
Well,
they were the same.
They weren't the same.
The third downs were the exact same. He was like 1 of 5
No,
in
I'm
the first
saying
half
this-
and
In
1
the
of 6
first
in the
half,
second.
Brock Purdy was 10 of 15 for 123 yards
Yeah,
passing.
and look at his second half numbers.
Their
8 of
numbers,
17.
their first half numbers were exactly the same.
Yes,
Mahomes and Purdy.
right. And you were only. What were they only at that point? What was it?
10-3.
10-3. You're only up a touchdown.
Yeah.
You rattled Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Your defense did everything you could do, and you're only up by 7 points.
Right, and then you went away
Yeah,
from
because your running back fumbled going into the
Right,
So did Pacheco.
And you inexplicably went away from running the football.
So did Pacheco. Pacheco fumbled too.
I know, but
I
that's
know.
why you were only up 10-3.
No, but you're missing the point. The opportunity that they had, and they weren't able to take advantage of it from an offensive standpoint.
That wasn't Purdy's
we would be
fault.
criticizing the same aspect of the game if it was the Patriots game.
Wiggy, here's what frustrates me about Scheim in this regard. The fact that the 49ers called a guy almost 47 to see if he would play a year with this team tells you they will get out of the Brock's play. They will
Yes,
get out
Curtis,
of Brock.
that was before he had an almost MVP season.
Right, and I'm
Correct.
telling
Like,
you,
He was a
didn't know
rookie
what the
coming off an
injury was,
injury.
what the effect
I
of
am-
the injury was
I
going to
am
be.
telling
Insanity.
you right now, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
That every team in football is insane.
Right. I think if the 49ers run it back exactly the same with Brock Purdy, they're not going to win the Super Bowl
That
next
will only
year.
be
That's
back-to-back
not-
seasons of running it back, though. Brock Purdy was hurt last year.
Right, and what I'm telling you is a guy that was Mr. Irrelevant is not an MVP candidate if he's not surrounded by the best weapons in the NFL.
And he got hurt at the end of the season. And they all knew he was coming back from his elbow injury. Yes, they did.
They did that. Shanahan's never said he actually called Tom Brady.
Yes, they did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
he never
he did.
said that he actually called Tom Brady.
And Peter King
He
last
said-
week.
Are you sure
I
about
swear.
that? I'll defer to you, but I think what he said was I had a conversation with Brock Purdy about it.
That he would talk to Tom.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Tom
I'm
said
not-
he wasn't coming playing.
Peter King reported that, or you're sure about that?
That was the story, yes.
No. The original story was Brock Purdy saying that Shanahan told me he was going to reach out to Tom Brady. I was a little bothered by it, but whatever. So then if Peter King has the reporting that they actually spoke to Tom Brady and Tom Brady said no, then fine. I'm fine with that. I missed that
But
part
what's
of
the
it.
difference when your coach comes to you and says,
There's
we're
a
gonna
lot of difference
No,
in saying,
Because they were
hey, we
unsure
might-
about his injury.
No, they weren't. They knew what his injury was. They knew what his injury was. They knew exactly what it was. They knew he was going to be out for a little bit of while, and they didn't know. They weren't 100% sure if he'd be ready for week one.
That's what I'm saying. They were
But they knew he
unsure
was
of
coming
the
back.
timeline of his injury, Wiggy.
But they knew it was only going to be. They knew it wasn't going to be a long injury, that he was going to be out for a significant amount of time.
And then he goes out and has an MVP season. Almost MVP.
Yeah, he did. He had a great season.
Yes.
But aren't you the one that said, we've sit here and we talked about it before. Mac Jones had an unbelievable rookie season.
Just not an MVP season, Wiggy.
But just
there's a
because
big difference.
Just because you have
And he got
one
to the
great
Super Bowl.
season.
He didn't get blown out by the Bills in the
You
first round of the playoffs.
who else got to the Super Bowl for the 49ers?
Who? Colin Kaepernick?
No,
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And
So?
what did they do when they had the opportunity to get
Yeah,
off
because
from
he
under?
couldn't stay healthy, Wiggy. There's a difference there.
They have, when the 49ers are in a position right now with their window, they got a 2-year window.
Who do you want him to get?
I told you.
Brady's not coming out of retirement.
Justin Fields.
I would say,
Purdy would be better in this offense than Justin
Correct.
Fields.
listen, I don't know if he'd be better, but I'm going after Brady.
Okay, I'm telling you, Tom Brady is making $375 million to talk on television.
If I was the
he's not coming back.
If I was the owner of the 49ers,
coming
I'd
back.
say, listen, Tom, I give you 5% of ownership
You
stake
can't do that. You can't do that.
after you retire.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
write it down.
That's
I'll put it on
collusion.
paper.
That's fraud.
No, it
I
isn't.
didn't say.